Hey everybody, it's Eli from Iconoclaster, Maine. The place to challenge your fucked up and old ass traditional beliefs. I gotta give a big shout out to Stewart Burne-Jones, who replied on the video about the Patricia and the Serena W thing. He said it started off that they were raising money for kids in India. And then a Patreon for someone to make videos. Then all these Instagrams popped up. Steven said his buddy Michael, I hope I'm saying this right, Masachern? I'm sorry, Mike, if I get that wrong. Please forgive me. Is it, Masachern? It's a badass name. Masachern did the Google image search. And it makes a lot of sense because, when I called these motherfuckers out, and I think that it's actually more shady than that because, hell, Stewart, if these motherfuckers were about helping children, they simply would have texted me or emailed me, or hell, even in the comment box below, told me about who the fuck they were, what they were up to, instead of being so fucking shady. So I don't think they're helping kids. They might have fucking said that shit to be ganking money and be all kinds of shady and shit. Because when a person, asks me, just and they say, Eli, what do you do? I mean, what is it that I sell? What is it that I do? That helps people. I'm a mentor. I'm a life coach, a lifestyle coach, a business coach, and I am the only pathos coach that I know of. I mean, that's what I specialize in, is pathos, which is a different way of coaching. Stewart, you kick ass. You kick hard ass. You keep going, brother. And I want to dedicate this video to you, man. And fuck it. Well, and I'll tell you something else, Stewart. It makes a lot of sense because I was getting all kinds of hate comments, right? These motherfuckers are talking a bunch of shit. And I'm sort of used to it because whenever you do something that's worthwhile, you're going to get haters. People that say, well, you ain't this, you ain't that. Or just people trolling what you are doing. And just trying to fuck with your day or just trying to put you down. And if you ain't getting haters, you ain't doing something right. So I was wondering why these motherfuckers, these non-English speaking motherfuckers, were like cussing me and calling me all kinds of bullshit. Now it makes a lot of fucking sense, Anyway, thank you, Stewart. This video is dedicated to you, dog. Today I want to talk about comparing self-fulfillment and self-development. They're different, but there's some overlap in there. We'll talk about self-fulfillment first. Self-fulfillment is basically fulfilling your needs, wants, and desires, working from the internals out, internally. Being responsible for all your emotions, being responsible for the love that you feel or the love that you get. Because in this life, if you look to other people and you project on them an image of like certain types of things, I mean, and we've all done it. We've all fell in love with somebody and we projected what we thought they were, which was actually a projection of what we love about ourselves, onto this other person. And then they wind up being something else or just being who they are, who they actually are. It's not really the other person's fault. It's just that when we become infatuated or we fall in love with somebody, we don't actually see who they are in the beginning. We see potential, or we see a projection of what we want, or a projection of what we love, or a projection of our better selves, our better selves in those other people. And they'll disappoint you. Also, Self-fulfillment deals with internally dealing with filling yourself up and becoming a little bit more content and peaceful and more whole by acknowledging the fact that your externals, you could buy a house, it could burn down tomorrow. You could lose everything. Externals, I mean, your clothes are going to get old as you wash them. Your children are going to grow up and move off, if you're lucky, right? Some of them will fucking stay. Sometimes those niggas come back and they bring more. But self-fulfillment works from the inside out. Self-development is similar in that you're going to work with some internals and some inner game and some thought issues and systems and practices internally, but you're going to do those externally. Self-development is developing like the habits of what you want to become. So that, if I know that I want to, we'll use the love example again. Suppose that I want to attract a certain type of woman, right? Well, I have to become that certain type of man myself. And because no woman is going to come to me and say, oh yeah, I'm going to complete you. I'm going to fill you up. I'm going to make you whole, because that shit ain't going to happen. A lot of women will look to a man for the same shit. And you can't complete another motherfucker. You can make them happier. You can bring them on your life's journey, and they can share yours with you. In the end, though, compatibility rests on, would you start a business with this motherfucker? Do you all have things in common for the long run, right? Because the law of familiarity says that, y'all gonna get tired of each other. That infatuation phase always goes away. You rekindle some of that. If you got your own thing going on and she does too, which self-development does teach, and self-fulfillment does teach. If you got that shit going on in your outside world, when you all do get together, you're not spending so much time up each other's asses, and you got more shit to share. And if you are crazy about, let's say, picking these dogs for whatever reason, then you all have something to share. A lot of people don't go by these requirements. And one of the reasons why my marriage has failed, and a lot of marriages fail these days, is if you would not run a business with a motherfucker, and women, this is for, like, if you're looking for a man, and men, if you're looking for if you would not run a business with a motherfucker, then you don't want to marry that motherfucker. You just don't want to marry him. But self-development it's a lifetime process of learning external behaviors and conditioning to help you with, like, business or leadership or communication. I'm learning much more now to be a more active listener and to listen more, because I suck shit at it. In my family, you've heard of people that talk over other people or interrupt other people. Well, my whole family lived like this, and I grew up like that. And so I'm learning to keep my fucking mouth shut and listen, and not listen to respond, but take in what they're saying. And that shit ain't easy for me. It's a new habit. I'm getting a little bit better, but I ain't nowhere near there yet, y'all. But that's a self-development type thing. You can bring it into self-fulfillment in that if I realize that I don't have to be heard or be right to be happy, that I'll be happier when I'm not, whenever I just let other people be right, they could be right and I'll be happy. Or if I hear them out and I don't try to interject my opinion or what I believe, and I just hear their point of view, there does come, they will start to ask for my opinion and what I believe. But internally, the self-fulfillment part is, if I want other people to listen to me, am I listening to my own internals? Am I listening to my body? Am I listening to my mind, my deeper mind? Whatever you like to call your psyche or your soul or your spirit. Am I listening to my own self-talk and listening to that self-talk to see if it has any place in my life? And when we stop looking for validation outside, the funny thing happens, you start getting validation anyway from the outside. One of the best things I learned that, especially today, after all this, I got a bunch of hate comments. I think that I muted them all or whatnot. I'm apt to just block the some bitches later. But the reason why I didn't take it too personally is because one of my mentors told me a long time ago, praise and blame are all the same. Right? Don't take the shit personally. I don't know what the fuck they got going on in their life. Who the hell shit on their parade? I don't know shit about them. Right? Hell, they might be Ford people. I'm a Chevy person. They're like, fuck his Chevrolet ass. I'm into GMC, Dodge. And maybe they're Ford people. So they ain't gonna like me. When I don't worry about external validation, then the people that are supposed to like me gonna like me. Because most people are not gonna like you, babies. Quit trying to be liked. I mean, we all like to be liked. I mean, and we all want to be loved, and we all want to love somebody. But you have to just stop even worrying about that shit. Because when you go out and you only worry about what fucking people think, or you worry about being nice, or how you come across, or have to watch every fucking word that comes out of your fucking mouth, then you're stifled. You're not being who you are. And that comes across in what you do. People are going to see that, and they're going to say, there's something off-put, or he's an okay guy, but, or whatever. When you start just doing and being who you are inside, and it's a harder practice, growing up in the United States, and I reckon Britain and Australia, where, you're raised up, sort of like in a church environment or in a societal manner, in that, you must always behave like a good little boy or girl. If it ain't something nice, if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. Don't talk to strangers. Which I tell my kids, talk to strangers and be safe. Because we live in a hugely paradoxical world. If you want to be successful in this life, you have to talk to more new people. And what are new people? They're strangers. And we're taught to be politically correct and not piss anybody off, and as a man also, we're taught to hide our manhood, because certain aspects of malehood are considered chauvinistic, which I don't think so. I mean, I love women. I love them, but they're women and I'm a man, just like you're a man or you're a woman. And we're different. Men and women are meant to complement each other, not be the same. Not be the same. When women find men who are too much like them, then either they'll friend zone your ass and treat you like the gay male girlfriend, or you're actually a gay man and you're her friend. I mean, I don't know. Other than that, man, we're going to be rough around the edges. And even the nerdiest, most introverted dudes that I know, and I love them because, hell, I was a bookworm. I was a nerd, a geek, and a freak, all to boot. Even those motherfuckers have got a point of fucking manhood that you just shouldn't cross because, it's just they need to be who they are, and so that they can do and be as much and as great as they're going to be, because introverts do run a shit ton of this fucking country. You better get used to that fucking shit. Anybody that tell you that you shy, you ain't gonna go nowhere, or that just because you're an introvert, you ain't gonna do nothing, or you got to get out and talk to tons of people, nah. I'm like a extroverted introvert, which means, people drain me. I can get out and I can deal with them for a little bit, but then they drain me. Then I have to go and recharge alone. I spend a lot of alone time. It doesn't bother me. But I still love people. I love people. It's just mainly I'm an introvert. So self-fulfillment goes into the inside. It's more about the inner psychology of getting your own needs met, the inner realization that you are enough, the inner realization that you can handle just about anything that life puts in front of you. And the self-development part is to develop the habits, the procedures, the systems, the strategies, and the tactics to get to what you want in life and to get those goals and to get those needs met. So one deals more with externals, which I believe is self-development. That's my opinion. And one is much more internal, which is self-fulfillment. It could be a little woo-woo at times, or a little bit more in your head or in your heart space. But those are the differences. And again, I want to thank you, Stewart. I also, in my last video, I didn't put down what I said that I would in the description. It's Gavin Stevenson from wakeupfulfilled.com. Right? He runs a channel. He's fucking awesome. If you like law of attraction and actually how to make that shit work on a daily, so it's not so much a woo-woo bunch of shit, and that you can apply it, check out his channel because it's awesome. I get nothing out of it. I'm just putting a shout out because I believe in what he's doing. I believe the direction that he's taking. And Stewart, you the shit. You the shit. If you need me, Stu, or any of y'all, text me at 1-270-943-7691 in the United States. That's 1-270-943-7691. Yes, I am a for real motherfucker. And I want to be approachable to anybody that really needs help. So, if you actually want help, getting to where you ain't, right? Or maybe you've already been there. You already had it and lost it. Shit, I've been there too. And you want to know how to deal with that shit mentally and emotionally, or how to get through that shit, text me up, man. If this has been a help to you, please share it with motherfuckers, because we all need each other to push each other forward, to lift each other up. Because we're running into those times now, babies. The economy is either going to be really good or it's going to be really bad for you. I'd rather it be really good for you. Okay? So, take care of yourself, my ninjas. Until next time.